All right, guys. So in this next video here, we're going to be talking about the add, subtract, mix, and multiply and invert texture node. So if I come in here to find these, what we're going to do, again, unfortunately, I don't know where most of this stuff is at. I just type it in, add texture node. So here we go, Octane texture operators, add texture. So let's actually back out and take a look at that one more time. Octane operators, or was it texture operators? Here, this is where we're going to be at. So we're going to look at the most used ones here. And the first one we'll pull out is an add node. So what I've got here is this spherical field node, which I've actually just figured out about researching for these other videos in the future. And this is a really cool, easy way to make a sphere. Check it out, right? We can control the size of it, and we can also control the fall off and all that other thing. Boom, right like that. Okay. So I'm going to use that. And then also here I have a noise texture, a procedural noise texture. If I plug that in, and there that is. Okay. So again, the add texture is basically what it does. And we're just doing some math similar to Photoshop layers, right? And we just take this, plug this into here, and plug this into here, and we're adding it. Pretty simple, right? The next one we have is the subtract. And it's pretty obvious what actually, this is a different one here. Take note, this one does not match. So we'll have to come back here, go subtract. We want subtract texture, okay? We grab our subtract texture, and it should do the opposite, right? Subtract what we've got going here. And there it is. That is our subtract texture node. Now, there is going to be another one that we're going to add in, and that will be the multiply, which I use a lot, especially if you're bringing in albedos with your albedo with a ambient occlusion. You're going to definitely need to multiply that. We take this, plug it into here. Now here is our multiplication. And then we also have, next will be our invert. So we can also take the invert, come in here, INV. Again, same as Octane textures, operators, invert texture. We're going to take this one. And in this case, we can go ahead and just invert this. And there it is. That's our invert texture node. Okay. You hold down Alt and pull that out. You can pull that out and then put that back in there. And then next will be our mix texture, which is an absolute workhorse, especially if you're making any type of materials and taking textures and mixing them together. This is your workhorse node. Okay, we're going to go ahead and plug that into here, plug that into here, into that. And again, now we're mixing the textures, amount even 50. 1 will be texture 1, 2 will be texture 2. And then again, boom, plug that in. There's a 50-50 mix of that. And that's pretty much all of these are our basic math. I will call them basic math nodes in a sense, because we're doing add, subtract, multiply, inverting, right? Pretty much anytime you're doing any type of procedural textures and you want to do some type of math to them, you can use these here. Also, in the composite texture, we can also use, it's kind of pretty much the same thing, but these are just more on an individual math node base here. All right, guys, so we're going to watch one of the videos from my Blender Octane 101 guide. It's a full course that I'm basically making to teach you how to use Blender Octane. For those of the members who are in the community, they get immediate access to videos as they're being released because I'm building the course as we go. So if you're interested in that, check the link down below. All right, guys, so the next node we're going to look at is the Polygone side node. And the Polygone side node is pretty much like what it says. We're going to take and assign a material to each polygon side. So for example, here I have two materials connected to a mixed material. I have a blue and I have a green. If we look at it right now, they're being evenly mixed. So if I shift over here again, now we see all blue and we see all green. But what if we wanted to have blue on one side and green on one side? How would we achieve that? With the Polygone side node. We plug that into here, and now we have green, and now we have blue. We can invert that, green and blue. This is a quick and easy node to assign a side here. So that is our Polygone side node. To find this node, also you come in Shift A, we'll come down to textures and down to geometric and Polygone side node. There it is. All right, next we're going to be looking at these two little powerhouses of a node. We have the Falloff Map and the Curvature texture node. Okay, so what I've got down here is the setup. I've got this two default diffuse materials here. I've got one being fully green, and then here one being fully blue. So you can literally see also 100% equals value 1, and then second equals value 2. And then if I put that at 0.5, we got an even mix. Okay, this is basically a mixed material node plugged into here. So what I'm going to do here is use this amount to be controlled by these. So the first one we have is a curvature texture. If we plug that in here, and this is what you can see happening. We do have a little bit of effect in here. We zoom in here, we've got the strength, which you can crank up the strength. Then we have the radius of how much that is going to be affected. Then we also have a radius map. And the radius map is where we can come in here. For example, if I come in here and add in a noise texture, I can plug this noise texture into here. And then this, let's go ahead and pump that up a little bit. Add a little bit of contrast. There you can see that what we're doing is adding some noise into that curvature map there. So that's where you can do that. Then we have our offset. We can shift around the offset of this. We also have our tolerance, how much of the tolerance is going to be accepted. The spread also. And then we also have including objects. So you see I have two Suzanne heads here. So they're both being, if everything is all. So if I go to self, it's all as one piece. You can see there, now the lines are gone. If we go to others, now it's just going to incorporate these intersections. So again, if I just shift duplicate this, now you can see what's happening there. Again, we can go back to all. You can also invert the normals. So it goes more into the cracks, vice versa. So that is the curvature texture. Very powerful one. Unhook that. Next would be our Falloff Map. And again, a Falloff Map is another one that's very cool. We plug that in here. And right off the back here, this is kind of acting like how we would do Fresnel. That we're getting that glancy blow on the edges there for like a Fresnel node in cycles. And again, we can control our values here. We have our maximum and minimum values of how much we want that to be affected by, max and min. Then we have the fall off skew factor. Okay, there that is. Turn that down a little bit more. And then also we have the fall off direction where we can control that. But this fall off direction works a little bit more better once we switch the mode. Here is the mode we're in, normal to eye ray, basically like that eye glancing blow. So if we turn that to normal versus vector 90 degree, now here's kind of something more that we might want to use again for like some dust or something maybe sitting on top. And again, we can adjust our skew value on that. So kind of something like that. Now we can also control that with this here, controlling the values. There is going to be another node that we'll be able to plug into here to control this if you want more data values and numbers, but we'll get into that later. And then we also do have normal vector to 180. And here's the 180 version of that. Again, we kind of bring that down a little bit. You can see how it's kind of affecting. And again, we can control that and move that around. So that is our fall off map and our curvature textures. So if you guys want to watch more of these videos down below, check the link for my Blender Octane course. It's in my Blender Octane community. There you can get immediate access. And for the next 7 days, I'll knock $5 off. So jump on that, get in there, finish watching some more of these videos, and get access to the newest videos as soon as they are finished cooking from me. Patrick LeVar, catch you guys in the next one. Take a look at this video. Peace.